What is going on, folks? Session mathematician Sumeet, the champ Barai here, and today I'm going to go over line and angle related vocabulary. First, and this is going to be just the basic vocabulary that makes it everything we know about geometry. The first word is point. Point is like a dot. It's a dot in space, and it represents that location. Now the second word is line segment. Now we take 2 points and we draw a little partial line between them. Well, actually, that's a line segment there, and it has no arrows and it has a point on both sides, folks. Alright. Now, next I want to tell you about a word called line, alright? And this is all line vocab words. Line vocab. This is actually line and angle. We have some angle, line and angle vocab. Alright. Now, what does a line look like? Well, you have an arrow on both sides in this one. Because a line extends in every direction on, in both sides, sorry. A line extends all the way in both sides, and it goes all the way to there, and it keeps going on that side also. While a line segment stops on both sides. You know this stuff, folks. And next we have array. An array has a dot on one side and an arrow on the other side. So it stops here on a point, and it has infinite points all the way in that direction, and it goes on into array. Alright, folks. Next we have an angle. And an angle is anytime you have 2 lines crossing, there's always an angle. There's 4 different angles that are formed. All right, angle is the this little amount of distance between the crossing of 2 lines or line segments. These don't have to be lines; they could be segments. I could have lines or segments or rays here forming different angles. And we'll talk about different types of angles here. Let me see if there's a better let's see here. For the exact definition of angle, what's a good way to say the word angle? Angle's not even on here. And that's a pretty tough one. Well, because I don't see it on here, it makes it tough. Anyway, so I'll figure that one out later. The angle is obviously the distance between whenever lines cross or something like that. There's an angle here. This is the angle. The distance here, that's the angle it creates. It's that little shape that happens whenever two lines cross or you have a segment coming out. Anyway, let's talk about different types of angles. Maybe we'll get the pictures if I talk about it. All right, let's talk about a right angle. They make a little square there to make sure that to tell you it's a right angle. It's a 90-degree angle. And anytime you have an L shape, that's going to be a 90-degree angle. And these could be little rays if I want. They could be lines if I want. Okay. Let's talk about the acute angle. trying to make some rays here in an acute angle. Because why is it an acute angle? Well, it's less than 90 degrees. This distance is smaller than this one. And so you draw a little curly thing here. This looks like about a 30-degree angle. Let's say 28. We're on a 28-degree angle just because I'm looking at it and it's about, maybe 35, who knows. Let's go with the next one is called obtuse angle. And an obtuse angle is just bigger than that 90 degrees. And you usually put that little curl on there if you want to denote it as an angle. A little curl there. Let's see what the next word is. Next word is intersecting lines, and then parallel lines, and then perpendicular lines. Alright, so intersecting. Parallel. And perpendicular. Alright. And I think I spelled perpendicular wrong. That's a tough word. I think there's an E there maybe. Perpendicular. I think it's an A there is what I thought first. Who knows? Alright. Intersecting lines, you could have like lines that cross each other. They could be crossing at any angle. They could be crossing, that's around a 90-degree angle, which is actually perpendicular. Perpendicular is when they cross at exactly, put that little square there, 90 degrees. Okay. Intersecting can just be, they can cross at this weird angle here, where it's obtuse on one side and it's acute on the other side if you want. They can go somewhere in the middle. Those are all intersecting lines. Parallel lines are lines that actually never touch. And they go side by side in both directions without ever touching each other. Parallel lines are very interesting. Very interesting in that way. And perpendicular lines, they make 4 different right angles. They are 90-degree angles. Alright, so these are called right angles that perpendicular lines make. So let me go over these words again just one more time. We have a point, which is a, what is it called? A point, these are basically all your line vocab words that you need. You got a point, which is, a place in space and time here. Sorry, a place in space, one location. A line segment is when you have 2 points. A line is whenever you have just points going infinitely in both directions, and you draw an arrow on both sides of them. A ray is where you have a dot on one side and an arrow on the other side. And it's kind of a line segment in one direction, and that ends. Okay, that's why it's not 2-directional like a line. An angle is just that little distance between whenever 2 lines intersect, alright, or line segments. A right angle is a 90-degree angle, or it's another word for what's called a 90-degree angle, which is this distance right here is 90 degrees. And it makes this shape, this L shape. Okay, when it's smaller than an L shape, like capital L, we're talking an acute angle. This one's smaller. And an obtuse angle is bigger than the exact L shape. Intersecting lines can be an exact perpendicular type, which is like you see here. This is supposed to be an exact cross here. I mean, when it does have perpendicular intersection lines, you draw like that. The word intersecting lines, there could be 3 different examples or many different angles they can intersect at. That just means lines that cross each other in some way. But parallel lines mean that they never are crossing each other. So that's 2 lines that are just going to go side by side forever. And perpendicular lines, we're talking, those guys are going to have they're going to intersect at a right angle, folks. that's 90 degrees. And that's the end of the video, folks. Hope you enjoyed this quick lesson on line and angle vocabulary words. Thanks for watching. And check out some of my other videos. Session mathematician here, Sumeet the Champ Barai. Till next time.